What's up guys, hope you're having an awesome day. We're going to be working on the front of the Toyota. We have a bunch of work to get done on this thing. So instead of doing this in kind of separate videos specific to the axle steering, we're going to have to just do a couple different videos doing the whole front itself. That is because we need to swap these front springs to the rears, and that is going to move the front axle forward. So what we're going to do is swap these out temporarily. That way we can get the measurement for the driveline and get that ordered. Also, we're going to need to pull measurements for the shock location because I'm going to be pulling off the OEM mounts and put new hoops. So we need to get the measurement front to back as well as side to side. That way, once we have this removed, we can weld that on. We also need to tack on the brackets for the hydro assist that will go up here as well as on the tie rod here. And then I want to tack on the diff armor. After all of that is done, we can pull this front axle, start rebuilding it and doing our frame plates on the frame as well as the shock hoops. Okay, so I got everything laid out on the table here. I'm going to try to go over everything as best as I can. So for the front, we have the truss going up top. This is diff armor. This is a U-bolt flip kit, so it ditches it and puts them upright so they don't get caught. We got a nice set of RCV front axle shafts. Pretty stoked about those things, so we hopefully won't be breaking anything. We got new ARP studs and nuts. This is the other U-bolt that we were missing for doing that flip. And then this is the hydro assist ram. This is another trail gear piece with the brackets. This goes on the pumpkin, this on the tie rod. We have a box from Trail Gear as well. This thing is already tapped for hydro assist, so we'll give that thing a go. The other one's a little bit sloppy, so that'll be nice to replace that. These are wheel bearing kits for the front. These are knuckle rebuild kits, wipers. We got a tie rod here. Only one of them is worn. And then this is the shackle kit for the front. And then way over there, we got the front leaf springs. We'll show you guys that when we're putting them in. But that is all the parts that we're going to be using on the front of this thing. Very excited for all these. They should work very well and be super strong. I'll put a link down in the description in case you want to check these things out. Other than that, let's go ahead and get started with getting our measurements on that thing and pull it apart. All right, so bouncing forward quite a bit here, we have the new springs in the front of this. These are the rears from a pickup. They push the axle forward about 2 inches, which is good because now it is clearing the oil pan. The only thing that touches at full bump barely is the drag link and tie rod will touch the front of the oil pan there. Not much I can do about that unless I raise the engine a little bit, which I'm not going to do. Anyways, these springs are fairly soft, so I figured I was going to have to add a leaf to this to support it, which is what I did. I pulled one from the old springs and put underneath here. It will work just fine for now. What I'm going to do with that lower leaf is re-drill the holes so it centers it in the leaf pack with that hole positioning, and then it should be good to go. Other than that, next thing on the list for this before we pull the front axle is I want to mark my location for my shock towers and measure for shocks. Still kind of unsure where I want to go. As you can see, this tower is breaking off and completely bent. They've smashed it up into the metal here, so we're going to cut those off and put some hoops on this thing. Close. All right guys, we got the passenger side of the frame all cleaned up here, all the brackets removed. This is the frame plate that we're going to be welding on. So we're going to toss this up here, clamp it, and then get it tacked on, and then we'll move on to fitting the shock hoops. They need to be trimmed down, they're too tall. Other than that, once we get that tacked on, we can finish weld this. All right, the passenger side is done. Got the frame stiffener and hoop welded on this thing. So what I had to do for these hoops is they are too long, so I needed to cut this off down here and shorten it about 1 inch on both sides. And I was able to put it up there, tack it all into place in the spot that I wanted. This is only shifted forward about 1.5 inches, which will be perfect with the axle angled as far as the shock slots go. But anyways, this side is officially done. Just need to clean it, paint it, and we can move on to the other side. I was gonna brace this in here, but there's not really enough room with the exhaust header, so we're gonna have to just rock that for now. It'll be fine. All right, driver side is done. Got the frame stiffener and shock hoop fully welded on this thing. Passenger side is also done. That is gonna wrap up the front as far as fab work to do on this. We do need to put a new steering box in this thing that we have. But next up on the list is gonna be tackling this front axle. We got the new truss to put on, as well as diff armor and brackets for the hydro assist. And then we need to completely rebuild it, as well as put the new third in and all the good parts that are gonna be going into that thing. But we're making some good progress on this thing. We have not that many days left before KOH, so hopefully we get it done. But other than that, that's gonna wrap up this video. Make sure you stay tuned for the front axle, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.